Greetings and welcome back. I'm Map Daddy, and I'm here to walk you through your first EU5 war as the Crown of Castile. In this video, Castile is fighting Portugal and Navarra. I think this is a doable war for a brand new player. Obviously a little bit harder than just fighting Portugal one-on-one. If you are a brand new player and Portugal had allied Aragon, earlier I recommended that you restart. You might have little issues with this. Most of the time, Portugal and you will fight one-on-one, but I wanted to include this video just to show that it's easily doable, how to do it, and yeah, let's get to it. So the first thing that you want to do when you look at this war is you have a two-front war. You have Portugal on your west, and you have Navarra on your northeast. You want to make that a one-front war by occupying Navarra. And you want to do that with the least amount of troops possible. But there is one tricky detail that you need to not overlook. Navarra has really good terrain to fight in. So if we go to my tactical menu, which is down here into military map modes, tactical, you can see that they have a defensive fort here that would give us a -2 penalty, -2 here, and 2 tiles with -3 penalties. So we do not want to fight here, and if we fight here, we really need to outnumber them because it's going to be rough. Now, this brings up a very important thing. Hotkeys. So you can go down here and click tactical, but you probably want a hotkey for that. So how do you do that in EU5? Click escape, go to settings, input bindings, and then go down. We've got our different tabs. We've got military things. Tactical. I have it as some Control+T. Not really sold on it, but I definitely recommend for warfare having a hotkey for tactical. It's very important. There's one other thing you can do while you're here is go all the way down rivers. They don't actually have that at Game Start, which they probably should. I wasn't sure what to do for that, but I really like rivers as well. I have U. This is also important for us as Castile. Harbor suitability. Don't really need a hotkey. I use it a lot, but it's not the most important thing. So I'd set rivers to a hotkey as well. Quick side step. Here we go. Here are rivers. You get a -1 penalty for crossing over a river into a battle as well. So we've got our rivers, we have tactical. So we don't want to fight offensively at these mountain locations where we get a penalty of 3, hills where we get a penalty of 2. So what are we going to do? When we look at Portugal, Portugal will always start with a line of forts here, here, and here. So on their border with us, they will have a line of forts. However, they don't have any forts here in the south, and about half of the time they build a fort here in Braganha. I'm not, well, actually I'm a little Portuguese, but they'll be able to build a fort here, and about half the time they will build a fort in their capital. So what I recommend you do is you send enough troops to take care of Navarra here, and then swing all of your other troops here and merge them at Orochi. Now, if they attack you here with the amount of troops that you have, they will lose decisively because you should have more troops, even splitting your troops somewhat, than they will, and they'll be taking a -2 penalty. On top of that, take your naval units as well as navy levies that you summon, merge them together, and put them in front of Lisboa as a blockade. This will not allow them to get out with their navy and come land either in the south with Sevilla or on your northern coast. So those two things are very important with getting the war started. Once you've dealt with Navarra and you have all of your troops down in Orochi, give them some time In EU5, marching troops over long distances lowers their morale. You can see it's only been a couple of days, and you can already see we kind of have not quite max morale, but let them get all the way down to Orochi. Make sure your strong generals are here, and then you want to take a good fight. You want to fight either defensively in really good terrain, which is the best case scenario. This would be second best, or fight them as an aggressor on a neutral land. You can bait the AI pretty easily by having a smaller force in the area that you want them to attack. They will attack it, and then you can reinforce that location with more troops. This isn't as effective as later in the game because your troops don't really have high initiative yet, but terrain is such a powerful modifier in EU5 that it's worth it. Even if you're going to lose some troops by doing this, as long as you can reinforce before their morale shatters and they run away and the army shatters, it will be worth it for you to have that defensive fight. And then what you want to do is walk your way through Portugal. You can just completely bypass this fort line by moving through the south. The way warfare works in this game is if you take the province capital, then you will slowly start to gain control of the rest of the locations in that province. So if we go here and we go to provinces, Algarve has a capital, it's Faro. This place has a capital, it's whatever that is. This is a capital, this is a capital. Capturing this location will give us all of this other than forts. So we will have to still siege down the forts. So you don't have to carpet siege all these locations. You just have to take this one and this one and this one and Lisbon. And what you want to do basically is once you get down here, take a good fight, carpet siege here, take Lisbon, work your way all the way up on this coastline, and then you can siege down these forts. I've already recorded a video of me doing this war when I did the walkthrough, and I'm going to play that right now. Hope you enjoy. See everyone later. Bye. One quick addendum to all of that is to make sure that you have admirals on your navies and generals on your armies. I didn't automate that because I think it's something that you can actually do as a player probably a little bit better than the AI, and I'm going to quickly go over that right now. So when we start with our navy, I already had a reasonably good leader as our admiral. He's got relatively good stats. He's got good blockade efficiency. Not the best with the military things, but I want that with our generals. He also has this naval damage done modifier, which honestly is the main reason I chose him. One of the important things to know here is that if his icon is grayed out, that means he's not fully in command of the army and they don't get his bonuses. So I hope they change this in future patches. But right now, if you have multiple units and you click this thing, and you can click it when they're in the same tile and it merges, this guy will go gray and it will take him a month to get in charge of the troops. The workaround that I do is make sure that your admiral or general, if it's on land, is in the strongest army, and then click merge to strongest. You can kind of get around this in single player by taking other forces, and say you take this guy and you split him in half until if he was stronger than this naval stack, and then you slowly merge to strongest towards this guy. I hope they fix that. I don't think merging the army should gray out the admiral. I mean, he's just going over new troops. It shouldn't be a huge negative, but I thought I'd bring that up. You want to make sure that he's active. Similarly here, if we look through these guys, I just assigned this general to this stack that is going over to Orochi. he's great. If we hover over him, it says in the process of taking command of Ninth Army and will not be effective at not well it will be effective at 9 May 1340. So we don't want to take a fight until May 9th, which is fine because we're going to have to walk all the way over here. We need our morale to go back up once we get here. So we don't really want to anyway, but I thought I'd bring it up that you don't get the benefit of the general or the admiral until it's no longer grade, because this is a walkthrough for brand new players. And I want to be as detailed with you as I'm teaching IT tech support to someone in their 80s. So don't want to miss anything. If I miss anything, let me know in the comments and I'll try to improve going forward. So we want this guy to be on grayed out. And just like with Navy, we can use this trick of, I'll select both of these guys, merge to strongest. This is 7,000 men, that's 3,000. It's about double of that. If you use this, it won't restart that timer and he'll be available on May 9th. Currently, at the current patch, if you use this, it'll start a whole new month over again. You don't want that. So use a little trick, do merge to strongest unit, and make sure your general is fighting and he's not grayed out when you fight other armies. A quick thing to go over if we talk about general stats. Early game, I find that the admin doesn't really do much. Here, you get siege ability. You want them for sieges, nothing else. The frontage, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Having Diplo and military is better because Diplo, you get morale. The military, obviously, you get discipline, move speed, combat speed. So if you're looking for a strong fighter in this area where I want to come in and bash Portugal, you're looking for someone who has better mill and Diplo. And up here, Navarra, once we win, we're just going to be sieging. So, gosh, I guess at the start of the game, I didn't have very good generals. You want someone who is more siege focused. But, I mean, we still do need a good general to beat these troops initially. It's just, there'll be times where you kind of want a siege guy. I mean, that's all he really needs to do. He's not going to be fighting. So, thought I'd bring that up. Hope that helps. Anyway, Map Daddy out.